Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today I have some little bit of work ahead of me. We bought some carrots a couple weeks ago. They were on like kind of marked down from Aldi's $1.99. Well, actually it was $1.89 for bags of carrots. And so I bought two of those, and then I bought a big bag from Walmart. So I'm going to cam those up today. I already peeled two bags, and right now I'm just cutting them up and putting them in jars. So let me turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. All right, guys, so I peeled the two bags, and you can see I already have 3 jars. I'm working on my fourth half pint or pint here, and basically all you do is just cut them up to reasonable sizes, and I'm doing a cold pack method. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna fill these jars, see how many I get, and I still have another big bag that we bought 2 weeks ago at Walmart. So, well, all right, let's get busy and see what we got. Okay, so I got 5 pints, and I got 1 quart. It's about half. Oops, sorry, maybe a little less than half. So I got to peel some more. All right, guys, so I have my jars full. I'm only doing 1 quart. Haven't always had really great luck with quarts. Sometimes they don't seal. And I know we have well water, so I have to get water, like filtered water from work to help can with. So next we're going to do is we're going to add our salt, and I'm using a kosher salt. Don't use pickling salt, guys, it is not the same. So I'm putting in, let me see here. I don't like a lot of salt in my stuff, so we're only going to use half a teaspoon here, and put this in each jar. Put it right in the top. There we go. And if you don't like, you don't have to put salt in. It just helps the preserving process is all. And on your big ones, you're going to do 1 teaspoon. So, all right, that's it. And then next I'm going to fill the jars with my filtered water, and I'm doing a cold pack. Now if I had my canner and I was already the water was already hot, I would have to boil and fill these with hot water before I put them in the canner. But since I don't, I'm just going to add cold filtered water and then put them in the canner cold before we can them up. All right, guys, so we're just going to fill these with, I got filtered water here right out of the jug. And we're going to use our 1/2 inch headspace. Now I have to get the bubbles out yet, so, and I'll show you that too. If you guys are wanting to get into canning, use your hard vegetables. These are the easiest to can. I'm not kidding. And you can even start out by hot water bathing. And that's how I got started, was I hot water bath pretty much everything. I made salsa, which you don't have to put in a canner. All right, and then next we're gonna get the bubbles out. Find something. All right, I don't know where my debubbler went, so we're just gonna take our little spoon and kind of poke it. And you can also like shake it a little bit. Wow, that went down a lot. Bubbles will come to the top. I got them packed in there pretty tightly, so I don't want to disturb them too terribly much, because I want them to stay in the positions that they're in right now. Yeah, just get a bunch of the bubbles out. And that's it, guys. Now we're going to put our lids on, and then I'll come back. All right, guys, so the next thing we want to do is just wipe off the tops, and you can put vinegar on your rag. Get them nice and clean. And I'm not soaking my lids because I'm doing a cold. Now, if I was doing a hot pack, than I would, but I'm not. So just take your lid. These are dry. You can kind of inspect them just to make sure that they're really clean, which they are. I just pulled them out of a brand new box. And you don't want to over tight your lids. Just kind of snug, right? Snug. And that's it. Put your rings on. And I'm not cranking down, you see? That's all the farther I'm cranking, just so that you guys get an idea. Ooh, my voice is cracking. All right, and then that's it for the jars, and I'll show you how you put it in the canner. All right, guys, I want to show you how much water I have in here. So I have, can you see it shaking? So I have about an inch in the that is above the plate here. So you don't, what I like about canners is you don't need a lot of water. It's not like hot water bathing where it has to be an inch above the jar. So in hot water bathing, this whole thing would be full. So what I like about that is you don't need a lot of water in your canner. All right, let's move this to the stove. All right, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna put our jars in there, and these are filled with cold water. So, whoops, yeah, be careful. I don't wanna crack a jar. Let me inspect that to make sure. Yeah, okay. Shoot, that would have been terrible. Then we would have lost all those carrots. Okay, and then 1 quart. Here's to good luck, right? Okay, so once you have them situated in there, they don't have to be in any particular order, right? All right, and then we're gonna turn our oven on. Get this a boiling. All right. Now I probably should have done enough to fill this whole thing, but I only wanted to do really the other 2 smaller bags that we had because they were the oldest. So once this bag starts getting a little older, then I'll do more. I don't mind doing small batches because to me it's worth it just to get those out of the fridge so they don't go bad. So, all right. I'm gonna put the lid on, and then we're gonna just, so it has to build up and warm up and all that good stuff. So I'll tell you guys what I love about this canner. Now, when I bought it, I was afraid, I ain't gonna lie, but it's actually very simple. And this is a double quart, which I know it's big and it looks kind of intimidating, but it's not. And the great thing about this is that it has an emergency port, and it also has two shaker valves. And the display is very, very easy to read. So in my area, I need to be above 10 pounds of pressure. So I need to be almost at 15 in my elevation. Oh man, and I'll tell you, I didn't know how to figure out the elevation, so you have to kind of look it up. But the next thing you want to do is let this build up steam, and once it starts building up steam, then we're going to close this port, and then we're going to wait until these have steady streams of steam coming out of them, and then we will put our 2 weights on. All right, guys, so now it's just a waiting game. Okay, guys, so our steam is starting to come out of both ports, and I just closed this. So let's see. Yeah, we could probably put our weights on now. Yeah, let's put our weights on because I think it's time. And then this is going to start. This is going to lock too. This is also a locking mechanism. There's a little, I don't know if you can see that in there. So once it builds up enough steam, that will also lock. All right, we just got to wait for it to build up pressure. Hasn't really moved yet, but it will very quickly. Okay, you can see that the needle is moving up. That's awesome. That's what we want. But we gotta get all the way to 15, so got a ways to go. Okay guys, when you hear it to start hissing like that, then that means it's time to turn some of this down just a little bit. Now, my area says 15 pounds, but I really like it about 12. So I like it in the middle, between 10 and 15. I think that's perfect. And I've canned, what did I can earlier? I can't remember, mushrooms. And the 12 was perfect. I think 15 is a little too high. So we're just gonna do the 12, and then once it's at 12, then we're gonna let it cook like that for 20 minutes. So yeah, because it's hissing like so quickly, then that means that your pressure is probably not gonna build up a lot higher. So trying to get to 15 pounds is really, really hard anyway. So we're just gonna take it to 12, and then we're gonna start counting if it'll go up that high. Because it's like hissing so much, you can hear that. It may not, we might not get to 12. Yeah, see, when it starts spinning like that, that means your heat's way too high. So we're going to turn it down, and we may not get to 12. Because we don't want it to be hissing like that. So we're going to turn our heat down a little bit more. Because you really only want to rattle, yeah, like that. So you want to slow it down a little bit so that it will keep a steady pressure. So, and then it will build up a little bit more, because we only want it to rattle like a little bit, like 2 or 3 times a minute. When it's straight like that, that's too much. So we're going to turn our timer to 20 minutes, and then we're going to start. Oop, 21, good enough. All right. Sounds good. So we might not get to 12, so 10 might be, you know, our ideal hot spot, but we definitely don't want where it's like spinning and literally like that's too much. Whew. All right. So we gotta let that build up a little bit more. I don't know, you can kind of like, once you start canning, you can kind of tell just by listening to it. So I gotta turn this up just a little bit more because it's not rattling enough. But you don't want it to over rattle. I don't know if that makes sense. You'll know like when you start. It's so, I mean, it's kind of complicated, but once you start doing it, you'll understand. Alright guys, we have like 20 some seconds. You can kind of tell the difference from when we started to get the steam up to, yeah, it's total different like sound. It's really hard to describe, but you get a feel of it. Alright, and then we're just going to shut this off. And man, that sucker like starts going down pretty fast. It's pretty cool. I mean, you can see that it's going down. Alright, and then we'll wait until it cools off, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the end. Alright guys, I just took the lid off, and it's time to take these babies out. Oh, those look good, don't they? Holy cow. Hopefully they'll seal right away. Wow, those look great. Alright, and the last one. Alright guys, there you go. Really easy, and these carrots won't go to waste, so happy canning!